All right.
Or,
anyway.
or Spirit, sorry.
I didn't mean to ruin your transition. I just want you to watch Scandals, man. He's back and he's angry.
You know his Twitter name?
Yeah,
At
it's
Scandal is back.
at Scandal is back. That is literally who he is. He has returned from the grave, and I can't wait to see some more Scandal here today.
What hero do you want to see him on?
It ain't gonna happen, but I do want to see the revival of his Shadow Fiend. Nobody picks that hero, but
No, yes, you actually asked him why Shadow Fiend was out of the picture.
I mean, I think the hero just now, it's very underwhelming. Compared to a lot of the other heroes, he kind of gets bullied in the lane, and with the increased mana cost on the razors, he can't farm as efficiently. Some of the items you buy nowadays, it just kind of shifted, and a lot of the heroes that are played, like Shadow Fiend is just not that useful anymore.
It's a shame.
Yeah, it's not really like...
Is it a possibility to play him in a different lane if you don't play him mid and you just get him one support?
Yeah, I think you can play Shadow Fiend safe lane, but it's kind of rare. Like, he can hit really hard. He can still farm really fast from the safe lane and come in, and I mean, he obviously can have a really big impact with the ult and the aura in the fight, and races early on. You can definitely go for some sort of push strat with a safe lane Shadow Fiend. It's not out of the question, but it's not something you would expect to see very often, because against some of the offlaners, he doesn't do that well. Like the matchup, yeah, it just doesn't make that much sense to pick SF there.
They normally have someone that can do almost the same and then better, I
Yeah,
guess.
I think so. And, heroes with stuns or just more damage or survivability, I think there are other heroes.
You say pick Sven instead.
I'd say pick Sven instead, yeah.
Hey,
More
man.
damage, having a stun.
There you go.
Defensive ability, get more armor, run away if you want, How many Sven games do you think we're going to see today?
All of them.
Yeah?
I
All
think
the
Sven
Svens.
will be in all of it. He'll either be picked or banned in every game.
Okay.
Welcome to the meta, ladies and gentlemen. But I don't know. You can run Shadow Fiend jungle, get an Iron Talon, you're good. That's all.
Don't
Do
listen. Don't do this, please.
Send me a clip
For
of
the
you
sake of
doing
all-
Iron
For
Talon
the sake of
Shadow
all
Fiend.
Dota players out there, do not go jungle with Shadow Fiend. with
Come
Iron Talon.
on. It's easy. Iron Talon on anybody. Welcome to my pubs. I've
Done.
seen Iron
Do it
Talon
in,
Wisp.
do it
in
in
his
actions like
pubs.
that. If you ever
Mostly
play with
if you're
Sir
on
actions
his
like that,
team.
then please, by all means,
Yep.
do pick Shadow Fiend jungle if you're on his team.
Hey!
Oh, Puck.
Okay, so we saw 2 pucks yesterday, and we talked about it quite a lot. The puck won game,
Yep.
and won one game and lost one game, but we saw him in the second pick phase. Why pick up first pick? What's with that?
I mean,
yeah,
go ahead.
go-
You're
okay.
the analyst.
All
Go
right,
nuts.
So, I mean, as we saw yesterday, the first game, Vega beat Empire with the puck.
Yes.
And then right after that, Empire picked up the puck themselves. And the Scandal, he played really well on that puck. I think he was 11-0 and 15.
Oh, yeah, 11-0,
Yeah.
yeah.
Until he died to this one Invoker and Sven. And at that point, the puck, he just gives up so much. Like, he can have a really good game with a lot of kills and a lot of farm, but he just doesn't scale well. He has no right click, he just doesn't scale well into the late game. So if you ever end up dying with that hero, then you give up so much more. So it's not a forgiving hero. So that's why I think we don't see puck as much, but Empire obviously felt like they felt good playing the puck yesterday, and I mean, I can understand them, but it was just some minor mistakes that cost them the game.
Yeah.
But again, like first pickup, is it gonna get banned?
Yeah, that's
No,
crazy.
I'm also a bit confused why they're actually picking it so early, but maybe they just feel really comfortable with it, and maybe Team Spirit saw the game yesterday and thought that the puck was good. I don't really know, but
I guess if they pick up the puck, they would be aiming to end it fairly early.
yeah, probably, and they're probably expecting to have some pretty heavy physical damage on the other 2 cores, the offlaner and the safe lane, I would expect.
Yeah, we already have a ban from the Klings. They won that game yesterday when they played the Klings.
Yeah, they did.
When they were up against an IO, and that's also why you see the IO ban, because Klings is picked up often against IO actually.
Yeah, and the Lone Druid ban also kind of makes sense against Team Empire. The puck and Lone Druid has good synergy together. And yeah, this is Gyrocopter pickup from Empire, and it also makes sense. They have a lot of good crowd control with that puck. Invoker and Enchantress don't really go BKB that early, so the puck can hold them in place while Gyro and Witch Doctor deal damage.
It's an interesting draft. I'm a little confused.
Why?
Maybe they'll get an Iron Talon on that puck, send him in the jungle. Could happen.
Could happen.
No, not gonna happen.
Theoretically, anything can happen. You're absolutely right.
Thank you, Cheever.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I mean, but yeah, I don't know. They know something that we don't. I think Team Empire. I hope that they know something that we don't. I don't
But,
know why you would.
Scandal was Puck against an Invoker yesterday too,
Yeah,
when
he
he
was.
was
And he
actually
did
doing well.
fine,
And
but
he did fine.
I mean, it's that if he ever dies, you're in a lot of trouble. We got an Oracle that's going to be trying to negate some of that burst damage, keep the people alive with that false promise.
I think Tide would probably be a pretty good pickup for Empire here. It would make their team fight very strong, and they could take out Roche. The fact that they had the Tide Hunter protecting the Roche pit, they don't have the greatest Roche heroes yet. If Gyro gets a Dominator and some levels, then sure he can do it together with a Witch Doctor with a heal. But a Tide Hunter would. It's good against the 3 enemy heroes. They don't really go BKB that early, and yeah, they would just secure themselves the team fight. Seeing as Void is banned, who would be another good hero, but yeah, he's out of the picture.
Well, no Beastmaster, no Bear. Standard bans and picks coming up there. And,
Hey, talking about bears,
yeah.
Ursa Bear.
Yo?
We saw him a lot yesterday. Do you feel like this is a game where we're gonna see him? If anything, I guess on Spirit's side, but maybe.
Doom.
Okay, that's it.
That's interesting. I mean, Doom he can be really strong. I kind of like this. It's also another hero he can go in and he can go into the fight, tank some spells. He dooms one target. He's out of the fight. It could be the Invoker or whatever other 2 cores they pick up right now. Okay, Drow Ranger. So this is going to be a very push-oriented lineup from Team Spirit, and this is going to be. I think it's pretty scary for Empire because right now they kind of have a hard time stopping the safe lane push. I expect Team Spirit to take tier 1 very early on and then potentially even tier 2. And they're gonna strengthen all their lanes. The Enchantress, if he chooses to go and help out the offlane, he'll have more damage. Invoker with Forge Spirits, he will also deal a lot of damage. So they could look to end the game really early on.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I mean, they're really on a time limit on this game. If the Drow gets away with too much, if the Enchantress gets away, I mean, seen a decent amount of squish coming out from Empire. So they've got to win this game before probably 30 minutes, I would say.
I think it's kind of. I would probably say that Team Spirit are the ones who are going to look to push Empire.
Really?
I think, yeah, the longer the game goes, most likely it kind of favors them because of the Doom. If Doom goes to late game and he can get up some armor items, some Shivas, and I don't know if he goes Crimson, Vlads, whatever, it's really good against what Team Spirit have because they have mainly physical damage right now.
Okay.
So if Doom can get a couple of items up, then I think they can take the fights with their heroes, Team Empire, but I'm expecting a lot of pressure from Team Spirit early on.
Do you agree if I say if Team Empire doesn't win their lanes, even if they play even, if Team Empire doesn't win their lanes, they lost? Do you feel like
I think it's really hard for them to win the lanes because of the Enchantress and the Drow Ranger.
Okay.
I mean, Enchantress is usually picked so that you can win the lanes. You usually kind of you disrupt the flow for the safe laner of Team Empire. With the Enchantress, you send creeps in and, you go to that off lane. It could even potentially be a off lane Enchantress.
Yeah.
I know Phonic plays a lot of Enchantress off lane. And so we could potentially be looking at an off lane Enchantress. And that's mainly for winning lanes, and same as Drow Ranger. So they just strengthen their lanes, and then they look to group up really early before the enemy team has a lot of damage and a lot of ways of actually initiating. Maybe even before the puck picks up the blink, they want to start taking towers and get an advantage from there. So I think Team Empire is going to struggle in the lanes, but they could hold high ground and then go fight from there.
What do you feel about last picks here? We miss secondary support from Empire. Depends how greedy can they be. Can they go for a jungler here? Considering there's already an Enchantress.
I mean, Doom could in theory be the jungler.
I guess so, yes.
I see
I'm also,
that
thinking
is rather unlikely. Yeah, maybe.
What do you make of the
out of the
Slardar
question.
ban? Because Spirit banning out Slardar kind of indicates that they're
Slardar.
expecting Doom to be jungle.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, maybe they're just scared of, I don't know, Slardar getting a relatively early blink so he can go in and crush multiple heroes from the Team Spirit lineup when they try to siege and then turn the game from there. But yeah, I'm not sure if Empire are actually looking for an offlane or a support here.
What do you think for Team Spirit last pick? We got, that depends, I guess, if you're having Enchantress as an offlane or a support. Oh, hey!
So it is a Tide Hunter.
Yeah, you mentioned him earlier,
Yeah.
why it was a good pick for Empire.
Yeah, so if Empire can actually just not lose the game in the first 20 minutes, they should be taking this game.
Okay.
If the Tide can get to his... Obviously, Greaves helps a lot against the lineup of Team Spirit. Any armor item that they can get helps. Maybe they will go for Mech, Vlad, something along those lines. I know Puppy likes to build into the Buckler on Doom first, and then he goes into Vlad's with maybe a casual Bracer or something, just for the armor alone. and then Tide goes Greaves, and they just build up a lot of armor, and then they just make sure that Team Spirit just can't break the base, and then they can fight from there, because going late game, there's no way that... Wow. Yeah, so this is very, very early push from Team Spirit.
That's a Phonic Jakiro. Am I seeing that properly? I did not... Yep, Phonic Jakiro.
Oh boy, it's on, man. I love this patch. So many new heroes. So much fun to watch. Woo! This is gonna be good.
Yeah, this is gonna be really interesting to see how Team Empire can actually deal with this pressure from Team Spirit. It's gonna come, I think, a push in the first, I don't know, 15 minutes. I expect them to have very good control over the game. Otherwise, it might get a bit difficult for them. But they have so much pushing power. The Liquid Fire on towers, the Drow Aura on all those range heroes, the Enchanters with creeps.
Jakiro with the buff that he got last time was already more attack damage, and the Drow buff. Now that's nice, very nice. I like Jakiro. I'm a fan. I want to hear from you guys. Who's gonna win?
Well, let's see. As much as I want Empire to win, it seems like Team Spirit have a definite plan, and that usually is a pretty good sign. They want to go for that early push. They want to win it quick. So I'm going to have to go with them. They seem like they know what they're doing.
What do you think?
I agree. I think Team Spirit are gonna... I think they should be running... They should run over Empire in the early game. They should take control of the lanes, and then they should just push. And I don't really see how Team Empire can stop it early enough. They should get a free Roche pretty much with that lineup from Team Spirit, and then they should just try to break base.
Okay.
If Team Spirit win, I mean, they could potentially end the game within 20 minutes.
No, not again.
Well, let's find out if this is going to be a short one or not. It is time for Empire versus Team Spirit with ODPixel and Draskell.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome over to the casting panel. I'm ODPixel, I'm here joined by Draskell, and we're ready to take you through the first series of the day. Team Spirit versus Empire. We're seeing a favourite here, Andy. First pick, the Puck. We saw it work one game yesterday. We saw it really fall off in the late game in the second one. Is this the hero for Empire's draft? And overall, are you liking what Empire's brought to the table today against Team Spirit's lineup?
I think Podcast summed it up pretty well. Team Spirit have the potential to go high ground, 15, 20 minutes in. And their lanes are very, very strong, whereas Empire, they're running it a bit greedy with the Doom. Maybe, Chen wasn't picked or banned. I was kind of thinking that Empire might go the route of Chen just to give them something to help control the laning phase a little bit more, because they already were playing up against an Eng, so just, throwing something into the mix that gives you some kind of tempo control. But they're pretty much just waiting for Team Spirit to come to them. And with a very defensively postured lineup, if they get some time, it can be tough to push high ground against Ravage, Coil, Call Down, all those types of things. But it's all about how well they can actually do in the laning phase, and can they stop Spirit from killing every single outer tier tower.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be really interested to see how the two mid laners work out. We saw obviously yesterday's Scandal. He had a great game, but it still wasn't enough to win on the Puck. And then you've got the Invoker, and like Pycat was saying yesterday, there's a lot more kind of room for messing up on an Invoker, because you mess up once on a Puck and it could cost you the game. Yep. Invoker, he can still offer a lot to the fight as the game kind of transcends into the later stages.
He's one of those heroes where you can have an amazing game. You make one mistake. Poor Scandal yesterday experienced that firsthand. So these types of lineups, though, the Empire have, it's really good late game because they have Doom, they have Gyrocopter. And even if you're behind a net worth on a Doom, you just throw out your ultimate on someone and you're pretty much negating their item progression for however long, 10+ seconds. So it can work. It's just a matter of, again, how much our Team Spirit going to be pressuring here.
And Afterlife, already bottom lane, duke it out with Always Want to Fly. Oh no, not like this. Oh, he's got a Fairy Fire.
But he just had to use all of his regen to live there.
It's going to be a tough, and already we're seeing this Tide, he is struggling in the offlane. It's not a great start for Afterlife, unfortunately. And mid lane will Scandal, taking a fair bit of harassment here from the Invoker, and I mean the matchup here as well. 8 for 2 on your Invoker against the 4 for 3, double the CS for Iceberg.
Not only that, but it's a Quas Wex Invoker as well, so Puck normally would have the damage advantage in this matchup, but they do have a Drow, so going Quas Wex can be a little bit easier. If he was Exort, he would just demolish him in base damage, because Exort obviously gives you a little bit more in that regard. But interesting actually to see him go this build. I thought almost assuredly because of a push lineup he would be going Exort. As top lane we can see a little bit of harassment going on here to Phonic, and obviously the Harpy Stormcrafter. This thing is so broken actually. 50 mana for 140 damage. It's so insane.
Yeah, that's a lot of nuking. There we go. Looking for the zap. Oh, he's been in chomped on. Yeah, that's a way to deal with it. That is certainly a way to deal with it.
But I do feel like there's a lot of really kind of interesting approaches to this game. I kind of like the Tidehunter idea from when Pyke had originally said it, but the more I think about Tide and what he actually does, Empire don't have any hero besides Puck that really forces the engagement that hard, and Afterlife's going to be forced into going mech, which is why I kind of liked the Chen pick a little bit more, because if you already have an initiation hero and you don't need it, then you can obviously, quite low here.
This mid lane matchup is incredibly tense. We're seeing both heroes bringing each other right to the brink. Miposhka just chasing down a Goblak, but he's going to turn around and force Miposhka back to his half of the map. And bottom line still, Afterlife, he's really struggling to find those levels.
It has to be better for him to just go jungle at this point. Like, he has Iron Talon. He's not getting any like experience out of the lane either. Maybe he's just waiting for 2 to get Kraken before he goes.
I mean, look at this position from Always Wanna Fly as well. He is ready to make Afterlife's life at just a living hell. He's ready to jump it if they find the opening. This kind of top lane, so obviously this tri-lane that Empire are running, it's getting space for the Giant. Well, bottom lane, again, looking at the Tide, looking for the first blood potential, and they'll get it. First blood for Illidan on his Drow Ranger, and Afterlife really not having a lot of kind of fun down on this bottom lane.
Yeah, not at all. The interesting part about this lane, too, is Always Wanna Fly has more or less been solo zoning him. It's not even been Illidan going in and throwing out Frost Arrows because he doesn't even have it skilled. He's probably just prioritizing going max aura, max stats for the strategy that they're going to employ, which is, group up around towers, push them. And in that regard, having this kind of agility stat build can be much better for that particular type of game plan. But this is where you start to contemplate just waiting it out a bit, wait for the lane to push in, and then come back, because he's just not getting anything. And it's not even as if, Miposhka is not eating too much of the jungle either. He's kind of sitting wherever the Enchantress is, just trying to make sure that Goblak can't influence the map. That's the Doom's function in this lineup. It's not really to play super greedy, but if you are around and you can eat the creep, that's good enough. That's enough utility to stop Enchantress from really controlling the lanes.
Funny's coming in quite aggressively here, so the wraparound from Miposhka is going to trap him. Let's see if they've got the control of the bounces. Are they going to be fortunate? Well, with the Maledict and the stun, and Rams is coming in, they'll be sure to find this kill. And Empire do manage to pick themselves up something here on the top lane with a...
He's level 5, though, at 5 minutes.
I mean, I would say CS-wise for Funny, because, well, he's found a lot of creeps.
Yeah, even with that death, he's still winning his lane super hard. Yeah. Being level 5 at 5 minutes, you only really need level 7 on Jakiro, because once you get to the max level Liquid Fire, your siege becomes insane.
And he's going to return back to lane. Just continues to find that XP. And I mean, when you're looking at the play of Scandal's Puck, he's actually going to try for a kill here on the mid lane. And with Miposhka rotating around as well, drops down the sentry. They should have a good shot at this one. Yes, got the regen here. The Scandal, in fact, has got to run. Yeah.
Miposhka didn't have mana for Infernal Blade, and he didn't even auto-attack him. Like, they dropped a sentry and just walked around in circles. I'm not really sure what that was. Maybe he was just waiting to try to get mana for the ability before he popped it, but in the meantime, they will lose their off-lane tier 1. Illidan, highest farm in the game right now, 39-19. He's farming pretty much... I don't know if it's perfect farm, but it's got to be close. 41 at 6 minutes is really close to perfect. Actually, no, it is perfect, right? I don't know. I'm not 100%, but... Either way, Team Spirit are getting the start that they're kind of looking for here, especially with Funnick, as we already said, having an amazing start. This guy is going to be level 6 at 7 minutes.
Eyes onto Miposhka. Always Want to Fly setting this up here, and now Iceberg follows through, gets the cold snap down. Illidan's there as well to join the party.
Yeah.
Second kill there for Team Spirit. Top lane, side of Empire, looking at Funnick, starting to retreat, but now jumping forward, Scandal, looking for this one, Funnick. Rather tanky, not quite tanky enough. The tri-lane will be able to take down the Dragon. So keeping it even on the board 2 for 2, but as you're saying, that the fact that this Illidan Drow is having the start that he wants, that's really going to set the momentum for the side of Team Spirit. And once they start to group up and push with that maxed out Liquid Fire, they're going to be able to take objectives at quite a rate. And the question is, do Empire have the counter push to deal with that? I guess they do with their heroes.
Yeah, they do.
But they like to have more levels on the Tide, really, because having that Ravage is going to be huge for them.
If they can get all of their ultimates ready before Team Spirit start grouping up, that would be a great thing for them. Because Coil can force the fight hard enough to where your Tidehunter can get in and actually land a Ravage. Fall down comes on top of that. They have the DPS. They just need to make sure that they actually get level 6 for when Team Spirit start looking to try to do these 5-man sieges.
At the moment, still between these two mid laners, Scandal. Not that far behind the Invokers, only about 200 gold in it. And we're actually going to see a smoke up from King Art and Maposhka. Oh, they're going to... Well, hello. Well, they'll find that one and they'll go for it. Always want to fly. Is definitely Gonzo here. He's going to wave his magic stick around, cast his spells. It's not going to be able to save him from the magical burst of the Maledict. As they will find Always Want to Fly, but indeed in quite a greedy position there as he came very deep into the Dire's half of the map.
I think he was trying to get some vision down, actually. He had a ward on him, but he got scouted out before he was able to place it, so unfortunate for him. Just wanting to keep Illidan safer, because that positioning gives you two options, right? You can obviously drop the deep ward, or you can just be there in case there's a rotation on Illidan. And unless they are doing like a straight up lane gank where they just walk past the tier 2, then you're pretty much going to be tanking it for him, which is still fine. Like losing the Oracle once is not really a huge deal.
Yeah, I mean at this point 3-2, would you still say that Team Spirit are very much coming out on top of this laning stage, or Empire they're not too kind of beaten up by how it's gone so far? They've still got things that they can look towards as their big kind of potential to make things go their way massively.
If they get a little bit more time, like it's already almost 10 minutes in, and to be honest, for a Drow lineup, you can already have started 5-manning by this point, just because of how much damage the aura itself gives you and having level 1 marksmanship. He already hits for 182 damage. So just that in of itself is good enough. Scandal should be... Oh, nice tornado, actually. Wow, that timing. That was very nicely done by Scandal. But this is one of those situations where Empire are probably feeling okay with the way the game's going right now, because they've only lost 1 tower. Their Tidehunter hits 6. He's got Arcanes. And they're going up against a Quas Wex Invoker, which I feel... Maybe they wanted tempo control, but I still feel like Exor's just better for this strategy. So their push is actually slowed by the fact that their Invoker is not Exor. And I feel like that could come back to hurt them, because you're basically giving Empire more time to get their ultimates up, which is pretty much all they need. Like, they don't need a ton of items because they have so much team fight.
And at this point it is just Maposhka who's not got the ult available. Not yet level 6, but as you said, everyone else, they're ready to go if the group up just starts coming from Team Spirit. Top lane, got Ramses just applying a bit of pressure onto the tier 1 Funnick, looking to try and hold it back here with the Jakiro. And he's working towards that Veil, has that helm. Level 8 on the Jakiro as well. And Smoker from Always Want to Fly and Iceberg, they're looking to move into position to try and catch someone out up here. And I mean, if they can find Ramses, that would be a very nice pick-off for the side of Spirit.
They might just kill King R instead.
Oh, they get the tornado out. Hey, Ramses with the cooldown onto 2, and Iceberg, he's going to get dropped. Nice turnaround there from Empire. Nice reaction to the smoke from Team Spirit.
King R's reaction was insane there. He actually threw the cask, immediately sentry.
Oh, and Scandal comes with a wraparound, goes for more. Yeah, that was a sequence of really nice plays from Empire. As you said, from the Witch Doctor play to Scandal being there ready to get off any of the stragglers.
This is starting to get a little bit hairy for Team Spirit, not having pressured too much. I mean, their Jakiro's level 8. Maybe they're actually just scared of the 5-man of Empire right now. I mean, obviously, Coil, Ravage, Call Down, Witch Doctor, Death Ward, like all of these abilities are definitely things to be feared, but at the same time, you can't deviate too far from your game plan, because if you do, Empire will win the late game. Like, their lineup is so good.
Scandal. Jukes at the EMP mid. Right click's not quite enough to bring him down here, so he's going to be okay. But yeah, as you said, Empire seeming to come into their element. We've got to see what the game plan is here from Spirit. Still, though, it is Illidan with a lot of farm, and yeah, as you said, this is the time to go.
It may already be too late, though, honestly. Like, these lineups with Drow are very fragile. So you either like take all the map control momentum away from the enemy team by like the 15-20 minute mark, which is what Pycat was saying pregame during the draft, or you just put yourself in the situation where you actually can never break high ground because of Empire's lineup and just the mass AoE they have. And it's not even as if you have like this amazing split push team either. None of your heroes really have a ton of mobility. The whole premise of these Drow compositions with Jakiro especially is walk around as 5, hit some towers. Empire won't be able to fight into you that early, but the longer you give them, the better chance they're going to have of being able to defend these pushes. I mean, they have a Veil on Jakiro, I guess, which is nice, but I'm not sure. I'm actually not feeling too confident for Spirit right now.
And now with a smoke up from Empire, ready to find up another pick off. It may be Spirit that's going to start to fall behind even more here if Empire starts to get the flow going. See if they can catch out. Go Black. He may be the one to get taken out here, and indeed, well, they'll all find him. Dropping the Dream Coil for this one. It's going to take them a bit of time, but no, okay, not with that final anchor from Afterlife. They get themselves the kill. Top lane, a bit of pressure was being applied by the rest of the side of Team Spirit. But Empire, they're there backing themselves up and maybe even ready to fight. They do have that Ravage. And if they can catch us, if they can find Illidan, just on the edge of the vision now, he'll come through there. We'll see he's there. They'll get the cooldown, the slow. He's going to hit onto 2 Afterlife, seeing if he gets himself in position, pops out the gush, still trying to walk forward, but now from the back lines, Iceberg comes through. Now the Ravage comes out, but it looks like already the fight is turning the way of Spirits. They'll take the kill onto Ramses, and now Team Spirit, they're going to look to move in for more. Chasing down Afterlife. Icepath won't get him. The right clicks in the end, they'll do the job. Double kill for Iceberg. He's looking to finish himself off of 3rd as King R retreats down to the south. You have got Imposture coming in on the Doom as well, but Spirit hitting back hard there into Empire, which was very close to being a great fight with a great Ravage, but Iceberg there with the wraparound and there to shut down the proceeds of Empire.
Yeah, that was a really nice play from the Invoker, but I think it actually more comes down to the fact that Miposhka wasn't there, and they had used a Dream Coil to kill a solo Ench that they didn't even need to use Coil for. So imagine if Scandal's at that fight. He throws out a Coil, means you get the Ravage off faster, and the call down Ravage with Coil combo kills those heroes before Iceberg's even there. If the reaction and, and the communication was on point. But I really feel like Empire just made a misplay. You need to fight around your ultimates when you have this type of lineup, and Puck is your best initiator by a long shot, especially considering the fact that, this Tidehunter, he's saving up 1200. Maybe he's just going for the blink as well to give them better team fight. Means they will also not have a mech carrier if he decides to go that route. But if you get hit by that Tornado EMP and it kind of stops the flow of your team fight, Team Spirit have a really good chance of turning it.
Top lane, a lot of tornadoes being thrown out here. They're looking for Ramses. They'll get the EMP onto him, and can't quite nuke him down there. Always want to fly, keeping himself alive with the ult, but the Doom now onto Iceberg, the Death Ward as well. King R finds one. A lot of damage coming onto this man. Is he going to pop? Yes, he is. They get themselves both with the kills there. Great ults from both the Doom and the Witch Doctor to secure those. 8-4. I mean, this is looking to be a really good showing from Empire this match. Still, though, net worth-wise, the farm priorities are lying on the side of Team Spirit, and you have got Drow and Invoker at the top of the board.
Yeah, they're going to have a net worth lead. That's pretty much just how their lineup functions. They win the lanes in terms of CS. They have very good farming capabilities. But their lineup does have a peak, and then after that, it falls off really, really hard. Invoker is probably the only... Well, maybe Ench as well. Ench can transition into pretty good late game. Invoker can be a good late game hero too. But a Drow is not really a super impressive 6-slotted hero. It's kind of like by 45 minutes, you want to have won the game.
On top, Iceberg, going to look for a bit of solo action onto Miposhka. He did get the Scorch Staff off, but looks like the regen not going to quite be enough it.
That damage is insane. Drow Aura giving him 55 damage. It's more than a Demon Edge, pretty much.
Yeah, really nice stuff from Iceberg this game, and it's something that we've come to expect, of course. Definitely one of Iceberg's stronger heroes.
I think it's it might actually be his most played.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about strongest, but most played, I think it's probably up there in the top 3. It's just interesting to see him play Quas Wex. I suppose once you have the tier 1 towers down, Invoker is very unique in this sense that he can apply the kind of pressure that he is just by, walking around with Ghost Walk, creating more space for Illidan to farm and whatnot. And they really can't kill Puck without a silence, so no Orchid means no kill on him. Team Spirit still has some time. That team fight top actually was so good for them because they get kills on a core and then it results in a death on the gyro, which is huge. it means that they actually have more time to kind of, you know, get Roshan, go high ground, finish the game.
We'll see if anything kicks out. I mean, Iceberg, look at his positioning here. He's coming very deep. I would love to... Can he go for a solo kill here?
He would probably
be a
die.
hard one.
He would actually, if he's this far
There's
out,
no
he might
tower,
be able to.
yeah.
He might be able to kill him. Although he has a very weird spell set loaded for this.
Oh, there we go.
There we
He's
go.
going to initiate with the cold snap, get the right clicks through as well. This man, Alacrity'd up. He's going to do it. Ramses. Does he? No, oh, look
Hello?
at that. He tried to swag
What?
it with the earn damage, but why didn't he touch him? He just needed one more right click. Did he really feel that he could trust in the earn damage that much? That was a bit of a monumental cock up there from Iceberg.
Yeah, that was super bad, actually. Just one auto attack and you run away and you're fine.
That was very, very kind of uncharacteristic. Well, Funny's going to try for a TP out. Not going to make it. The Yule's coming in. They will lose Jakiro as well. And man, Iceberg, he has got to be kicking himself for that one.
That was a brutal mistake. Not only because he's the only tempo control on the team, and him being dead means that Empire have full control of the map for this point in time, but because that was a kill on a very important hero that he had 100%. Like, there was no way that gyro should have lived through that.
Illidan trying to fight this. He is going to go for the TP out, and yeah, he'll make it in time.
Nice. Good stuff. Yeah, that mistake could actually come back to bite them pretty hard. They lost their safe lane tower for that. They lost their mid and a support. Missing a kill on a
They're
key
offlane.
hero.
Funny.
Yeah, offlane. You're right. Yeah, Jakiro was offlane. And not the greatest from Team Spirit. They are still farming very well.
Oh, look at that. The first time he's played it this patch.
Yeah. And of all games to play it, he plays it in a push strat. Interesting. I mean, it does have its strengths. Like, up against heroes like Doom and Tidehunter, for example, Tornado EMP can be really strong, just, you know, draining their mana. But typically what you do against this Invoker is you buy 2 pairs of Arcane Boots, and that in of itself just allows you to have mana even if you do get hit. It's like you save your Arcanes, you get Tornado EMP, you both pop your Arcanes, you have enough mana to use your spells again. That's kind of the typical play style around this, but he's making it work to a certain degree. He's going to be making his way towards Orchid as well, which will be really nice for being able to pick off Puck, for example. But his Orchid timing is actually so late that Scandal already has Yules. So normally you use this Orchid to solo kill, but he actually bought Urn, went back from Midas, and then started buying Orchid. So his item timings are off. Normally you would want this Orchid completed already. So we see a smoke here from Empire. All of ultimates are available.
Yeah, with this Blink Ravage initiation from Afterlife, if he gets it on point, this is going to be very hard for Spirit to do anything about. Well, they're going to find Iceberg. He's been dusted up, and well, there should be a quick one for them. Doom's drop, Death Ward as well. Goodbye, Invoker. 50 seconds on the sidelines. It's a great way to open up for the side of Empire. Now they're just going to turn towards Roshan, and with no Invoker available, I don't think Team Spirit can do anything to stop this one.
Yeah, Invoker is the last hero you probably want on your team, tank and the gank. That is not the dream. But Empire, they're making this lineup work quite well for them. I really feel like Team Spirit were just too passive. The Drow lineup can push pretty much as soon as the Drow hits 7. You can push. Like, that's all you need is the Aura Max with marksmanship.
Jumping in here, committing the Ravage. They'd love to find Illidan, and now with the silence as well, they're going to have a good shot at trying for it. He's trying to juke this one off, but he's not juking off the cooldown slow, and they'll find him by the slow.
Nice silence.
Surely one more touch. If he gets away out of this one.
He's got blink. He's dead.
Yeah, he's gone at the same time. Funnick will pick off King Eye in return. And they'll find Funnick as well here. There's 3 of them chasing him down.
He's got
around.
coil still.
Nice ice path.
He doesn't get away, though, I think. Does Scandal let him
orb.
go? Oh, the rest of his team didn't chase. Okay. He had blink coil. I thought he might just keep going once he saw that there was no TP on Funnick, but maybe the rest of the team just backed off without realizing. Back to Dagon Gaming, boys. Let's go.
Is this always the build on Puck, kind of Blink Mule's Dagon?
In this situation, it's very good. Pycat touched on it yesterday. It's good against heroes like Enchantress because naturally low health pool and being able to burst. But in this game, it's especially good because the enemy team is not going to buy BKBs. Even though they need BKBs, they can't buy them because their timing for it is not going to be proper. And if you do buy those BKBs, then you need a team fight, which they will never win a 5-on-5 fight. Like, how do you win against Coil, Doom, Call Down, Ravage? That is just ridiculous 5-man. So buying a BKB seems kind of pointless because the purpose that your lineup is supposed to serve is fighting around the idea of pushing, which means that the Dagon is going to have usefulness throughout a very long point.
Oh, and Scammy's trying to throw a bit of a solo kill on Iceberg. hasn't quite got the burst though.
Yeah,
Bit ambitious.
Too ambitious, but you know, you force him back. He's not trying to kill anyone right now. You know where he is.
Right, and we have to disable Ramses for the time being, but Doom, he comes in and he gets the ult off on Illidan. Illidan will be ulted up. I always want to fly behind him. Some time Afterlife's there as well with King R. Funnick, he's going to go down. They have lost the Aegis. But they're coming out on top of this fight for the time being, and it will force Spirit back. Illidan, yeah, was kept alive there by Oracles. The Doom now doesn't matter, but Scandal jumping in. Silence onto 2. King R as well. The cast, the bounces, they're going to do it. They're going to find themselves the kill onto Iceberg. Now chasing down Illidan as well here. Mantra himself away from this, but still the puck chases. The tide blinks for double kill for Scandal. They've found themselves 3 now. With eyes onto Goldblack. Always want to fly incredibly low. Looks like he will be able to get himself just far enough back to base. On Scandal. Is he going to get the vision here? He will. Oh, he's not going to commit, though. Doesn't want to go too crazy against that one, but a clean fight for Empire. 2 for 3, and a nice gold swing and XP as well. 15-7, Empire. They're certainly taking a hold of this game, and suddenly...
Oh, Goblak.
Oh. I mean, Team Spirit are just... It seems like they're making a lot of mistakes this game.
They have made quite a bit of mistakes. They had some opportunities to, you know, push early, go for some smokes on Roshan maybe, try to get that, and then get some tier 1s down. I just don't agree with the Quaswex choice at all this game. I mean, I like playing Quaswex. It's actually my preferred style on Invoker because I like being able to dictate the pace of the game, and tempo is fun for me. But I don't think it fits in this lineup. Like there's no room for this kind of gank-centric Invoker. You want to be 5 with Drow. You don't want to play a split-push game. You don't want to split up your team. That's how Empire win the game. Because they're always going to have some advantage in small skirmishes and a 5v5. Their heroes are built to fight. They're not built to push or necessarily de-push at a very early stage. So I think that Team Spirit were they were too passive. They didn't force it enough. The Enchantress didn't really accomplish anything during the laning phase. He got his creep eaten by Doom top, the one that could have actually like helped win the lane a bit, and then he kind of just went back to farming. So Goblak for me has also not really been very impactful in his role, and with that, Empire, the longer the game goes, we said it during the draft, they just have the better late game. So the longer this goes on, and to be totally honest, Team Spirit with a lineup like they have, they are supposed to be ahead.
In terms of net worth as well, you were saying earlier, you expect to see them being ahead in terms of farm, but now you got a puck with more farm than the safe lane Drow.
Yeah, their lineup is supposed to be ahead in gold, easily.
I'll scan up, seeing if you can set something up towards the mid lane. We've got all the ults back available for Empire. They're ready to fight. The question is, are Team Spirit ready to react? They're playing it safe, backing up behind the tower, but okay, they've caught out Bambi. Goldblack. He's going to be going back to the base. 40 seconds.
But in the end, she tired.
Oh man, this is just really falling apart for Spirit. There looked to be hopes at the start, but now Empire are they've really upped their game. We saw yesterday they had a few tough ones, but now against this matchup against Spirit, I mean, it just kind of begs the question in game 2. I don't think we're going to see Spirit draft this kind of push strat again, surely.
It doesn't feel like they're familiar with how it plays, which is weird because Illidan loves Dro. I think it was like one of the heroes that he played the most when he played for VP. But it just doesn't seem like the rest of the team knows what they're supposed to be doing. Like, I don't know what's going on, honestly. It just really felt like the entirety of Team Spirit have just been off this game. I mean, you don't pick Ench, Dro, Jakiro offlane, max liquid fire at level 7, and then not just chain push towers.
Well, 26 minutes in, and 2 tier 2 still left alive on the side of Empire. It's, as you said, Spirit strat hasn't worked out in that sense. They're maybe looking to see if they can try and fight it, but King R's actually got an invis room. We'll see if they can help Ramses, but it looks like Ramses... Oh, okay, with that beautiful Ravage onto 4, the Death Fort as well. Doom onto Illidan. It's a great reinitiation there from the side of Empire. They burst down Iceberg. 2 dead at the moment. Goblak trying to run. It looks like he'll be fine, but the same can't be said for the rest of his team. Illidan gets chased down by Maposhka. Now Goblak's going to go down as well. And this game, 21-7.
This game is actually just over.
It is absolutely. It's...
The problem is, with the lineup that Team Spirit have drafted, if they are not very far ahead at this stage in the game, their chances of winning are just so low. That's a perfect example, right? They jump on a core with no BKB, and they just don't have a hope of being able to kill it. I mean, clearly it was a little bit of a bait because Afterlife was in a good position to get a counter Ravage or whatnot, but Team Spirit feel so much pressure that as a lineup that is not really super strong at ganking, they feel the need to try to smoke to get some kind of control back. And that's a really bad sign. Like, this lineup is not supposed to be the one doing like these weird smoke 4-5-man rotations. Like, yeah, okay, you smoke your supports or your Ench and, you know, maybe an Invoker or something, but you definitely don't send like 4 heroes out. Normally you want to just be pushing all 3 lanes simultaneously, have Empire sitting in their base by now. You know, PyCat, even during panel, you know, when they were doing the draft, said the game could literally just be over at 20 minutes if Team Spirit played it well. So Empire, obviously, really solid game 1 from them so far, taking a full advantage of all the space that Team Spirit have given them. And this is just another like panic smoke almost from Spirit. They just feel like they have to do something.
And the puck, I mean, Scandal puck, it's really quite something.
Yeah, he's always been amazing on that hero. It's just that the hero itself hasn't been in the meta for so long that people forgot like how impactful it can be in the first, you know, 20 to 25 minutes. It's just
11-0-3. And yesterday I had a game just like that until the point where he died once. I mean, he just plays it perfectly.
This game's much different too in the sense that you're not playing against the superior late game team. Yeah. You actually have the better late game as a team with puck, which is rare. You don't normally see that because most of the time the mid player is also like a position 2 or 3 where they have some kind of late game transition where puck is considered weak in that regard. So typically the other team is the one who has the superior, you know, 40+ minute lineup, but Empire actually just looking so good this game.
I can see that Team Spirit are coming in fairly strong in this top lane. They're all ready to go. We'll see if Empire can get themselves in position behind them or are able to start something. This is quite a bold movement from the side of Spirit, and it looks like it's gonna calm down. They are gonna back off. Really don't want to continue to force through, and Witch Doctor's now got a gem, so King Art will have the vision next time Iceberg comes walking around with the ice. Sorry, with the Ghost Walk.
He just can't do anything anymore. Like, Quatswek's Invoker from behind with just an Orchid is so... It just feels like you don't have any options. Yeah. Because here's the thing, right? Normally you just walk around with Ghost Walk, you look for solo kills. If Empire is split up and like farming lanes, you're looking for a support, you're looking for maybe like the offlaner that you could kill with the Orchid combo and just drow damage in general. On paper it sounds really nice, but when you're behind and your item progression isn't as fast as it should be, this style of play is just completely ineffective because you don't actually do enough damage to kill anymore. And with a second failed smoke gank, Team Spirit just go back to their lane pushing. And to be honest, Empire even have superior catch as well. I mean, you have a puck on your team. You have Blink Tide. Even the Doom has a Blink Dagger.
I saw some lines being drawn on the map there. I think it was
like, we need to freaking push.
Yeah, there was like, yeah, we need to push this lane. We need to push this lane.
If they don't keep the lanes...
And again, that's drawn again. I think someone's getting angry.
Yeah, if they don't keep the lanes pushed...
Push these lanes!
Empire can just take Rosh for free if top and bottom are pushed down. And if Team Spirit try to contest, they will probably lose the fight. Especially considering the last engagement, the Gyro didn't even have BKB. Now he does.
Yeah.
So good luck ever killing that Gyro when your Ench is just not quite up to that level of farm that she needs to be to deal with that BKB core.
You'll see that Empire are going to get this for free as well. Team Spirit just aren't around to do anything about this.
Yep.
And even if they were, it's questionable how much they can actually do to stop.
I mean, they're doing the right thing, to be fair. Yeah. In this situation, Team Spirit cannot take a Rosh fight. They would just get murdered. So keeping the lanes pushed, making Empire go back to address that issue first, giving themselves a little bit of time to farm instead of just having to take a fight right after Roshan dies, which is like the worst thing.
Scandal jumps in. Dream Coil onto always want to fly. He's going to look for the TP out, but the Yules is there to cancel it. And he is surely going to pop after this ult, and there we go, bam. Got him indeed.
It's kind of rough because they just don't really have many options.
Well, Afterlife walking into this.
There is no way they can kill him.
He wants to go back in.
Yeah, Afterlife is just the manliest watermelon right now.
He's got backup from the team. Moving forward, Gush in a second. Can he get it off? Oh, looks like it's just out of range of Illidan. Out of sight as well. Illidan trying to juke it up into the trees, but they're going to get the vision here, and now Illidan in a spot above. Oh, Afterlife blink dodges that one, and here we go. Cancelling the TP. Illidan Storm Rage down and out for the count. And that's the Drow on for 60 seconds, and not just the Drow, but of course a lot of the right click that Team Spirit as a team are relying on to even have a chance of finding a kill. Just gone for that full minute.
I gotta say, in general, I can't tell if Team Spirit just massively underperformed or if Empire just played that well. Because I just feel they just didn't do anything. Like, they didn't try to kill Roshan. They killed like the tier 1s, and then they just farmed. Like, I don't know what they were trying to do, honestly. It's very awkward to watch games like this because
I mean, it is. It's
when you see a lineup that has a very clear-cut goal from the get-go, and just saying, okay, well, you know, draw lineups are all right until like 40 minutes or so. We're reaching that point. You know, it's 33 minutes in. We're not too far off. And they haven't killed all the outer 2 towers, and they are behind by a huge margin in golden experience. This is pretty much the exact opposite of what you would expect out of a lineup like this from Spirit.
Naposhka jumping in onto Funnick. Funnick will use himself, but that's actually going to buy time for the rest of Empire to come in and close the gap. They'll drop the cooldown. Funnick will be kept alive here by Always Wanna Fly, but Always Wanna Fly gets doomed and immediately killed.
I mean, they saved Funnick.
It's true. It's true. Yep, support instead of the offliner. That's a positive bit of action here for Spirit. But they're going to lose a tier 1. And they may even lose more at this point because with the Ravage up, there's not really a lot to stop Empire from just pushing in for more. And mid lane, Scandal toying with Illidan. He's going to get stunned up. He's got to be careful though, Scandal, as Illidan does have backup. Afterlife pops the Ravage. It will get the kill onto the Drow. Afterlife having a much better game today on this Tide Hunter than we saw him have yesterday. And now, I'm moving in for more. They do lose King R, but the damage now that Ramses is doing it with the flat cannon shots off the tower. He's done it. Great play from the Gyrocopter. It's 26-8. It really is looking like this is all but lost here. For the side of Spirit. I don't know, man. It's not been a great opener for them today against the side of Empire, a team that yesterday we saw really struggle against some other sides.
That's true, and I would have considered, after having seen all the teams play, that Team Spirit easily the top 2 of the rest of the teams in the tournament. And after watching this game, I'm just like, what is going on? Like, what is this Team Spirit that I'm watching right now? They do not seem to be communicating that well. At the very least, they have different ideas on how they're supposed to play out the game. But it just seems like, you know, when you have Goblok on your team, that's the guy that you want to listen to. You know, whatever he says, like, all right, let's push, you know, let's farm, whatever. Typically, you want that unified voice. But it really feels like that's not the case here.
Team Spirit at this point, they need... I mean, I don't know what they need. It's just...
They need a miracle.
They really do.
That is like...
They really do.
Maybe if 3 members of Empire disconnect, they can take a fight. But honestly, like, it sounds harsh, but it's just the nature of their heroes. It's not really anything that's play-based, but their game plan, their expiration date was like 5 minutes ago, you know? Maybe in like 4 minutes at the absolute latest, if you were winning the game for the last 40 minutes. Kind of just waiting for Empire to go high ground at this point. And the thing is, Empire don't have to push it either. They can sit back and keep farming on Ramses until he's 7-slotted if they want. It makes no difference. Like, they don't have to put themselves in any bad situations if they don't want to.
Oh, mid lane. Eyes onto Iceberg. And he's got the dust as well. Naposhka is a smart one. We saw him yesterday. I was talked through with Pycat whilst we're casting. He really has been making the plays and continues to do so this game. Now with the Dream Coil onto 2. Always Want to Fly, burst down by the Dagon. Iceberg surely going to tick down low, and he's going to get taken down as well. Second pick off, double kill for Scandal. The slaughter continues. Funnick will get himself a way back to base. Did get a bit of damage to the tier 3, but it's it still feels like a while since we've seen something good happen for Spirit this game.
I think we're going to have to watch a little bit too long to see something good happen. I mean, this is just kind of hard to watch at this point. I guess it's like maybe they're discussing what went wrong in the early game, you know, kind of saying, okay, we needed to do this. This was good, but we can do this better in game 2 if we decide to run something similar. But I kind of was in agreement with you when you said that they probably wouldn't run the similar style of draft in game 2, because this just does not feel like their forte at all.
A prize.
It really doesn't. And this could be closing in on the final test for them, as we see Empire looking to be in a position to move up to the high ground. Jumping forward, a nice silence onto 2, knocking them back with a gust. Keeping them out of the base for the time being.
Yeah, they can back if they want. They can just kill the offlane tier 2. They don't even have to high ground here. They're probably just starting to realize how far ahead they actually are and just saying, oh yeah, whatever. We can just play this as aggressively as we like. We have our Crimson, we have our Vlads and the Doom. He's got Blink as well. But they could also just go back and wait out the Roshan, go for the last tier 2. That's also good. No reason to risk putting yourself in a situation where you could lose a fight.
Yep. There really isn't.
Pretty much the only way they lose a fight is if they like overextend into the base. That's how Team Spirit could do it. Like you bait them out, you kite them in, and then maybe a couple of buybacks would be necessary to win that fight, but it's possible. Just depends on if Empire are feeling that confident that they can dive like that.
Oh, Iceberg.
They saw the ghost
around.
walk.
Yeah, they know he's there. They know he's there. Pop the BKB. He'll try and walk this one off. Turns around with Tornado. Afterlife. Gives him a punch, but hasn't quite got the physical DPS to bring down this Invoker. He is just a tide. And Satanic is now done.
My god, he is so far
for
actually.
Ramses.
This man has some gear. How do you kill this hero? That's my next question. Because here's the other thing about Quaswex Invoker and being behind. You actually don't have a lot of damage spells because you went Quaswex. So with the Drow Aura, you're relying heavily on your right click to be able to deal with people, but if he has Butterfly Satanic and BKB, and you don't have like a right click oriented item, Funnick's just super dead.
With the Doom on Funnick, that's going to be a Jakiro, unavailable for the next fight, for sure.
Well, they're trying to get out on the map here, just to split push a bit.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This Drow being forced into Manta BKB is certainly not helping their chances either. I mean, Manta's fine. Like, I actually think Manta's good for the siege. But
Oh. Afterlife finding Iceberg. That is an Aghanim's Dream Coil. Iceberg, he was not ready for that one. But the Shiva's coming out, the Death Ward as well. Invoker down. He does have buyback available. But it's...
the crappy thing about having a minimum duration BKB against Ag's Dream Coil is that the stun is 4.5 seconds. So your BKB is completely negated if you walk out of coil. That is actually one of the best things about Puck in these scenarios when BKBs are down to that 5-second mark.
You always want to fly, only just living that. The Gust nearly finishing him off, and Empire will force out the buyback from Team Spirit.
They got some split push going on mid as well.
Yeah, look at them doing a good job at trying to take down this tier 3, and it'll BKB, TP out, it will be fine.
That was a good move. That's something that keeps you in the game,
Yeah,
you know?
It certainly is. I mean, considering the score's 8-30, I mean, they're holding on in it, and we are 41 minutes in, so that in itself is kind of impressive.
I mean, this was the entire first series yesterday.
Yeah.
About 40 minutes long. Usually you don't see games get to this point because the patch is very snowbally. So your one lineup gets ahead and they just smash, right? Like they just go high ground by like 20, 25 minutes and then the game is over. But this is the kind of lineup from Empire that isn't necessarily amazing at pushing high ground, but they're very good at controlling the map and they're very good at team fighting. So it takes them a little bit longer to actually seal the game out because they're not so good at killing towers. I mean, Gyro now has enough farm to where it doesn't really matter. He can just hit the tower. But prior to that, Gyro's not really seen as like the de facto high ground pusher.
Ramsey's 4.4k gold on top of the items. At this point, he's a good 10k above Illidan. Massive, massive differentiation. It's just not been Spirit's game. It really hasn't.
I mean, I think that this is something, again, that it's more about comfort zone than anything else. And I felt like they didn't necessarily have to go Dro either with their, I think it was 4th or 5th pick, right? When they picked the hero. So I don't know if they had to take this necessary, you know, pushing strat to the utmost limit. Could have just went with something a little bit more traditional for the safe lane. All right, Roshan's back up. This could be the ticket here for Empire to just breach the high ground, because this is a cheese as well.
I mean, Aegis and Cheese Bush is going to be pretty much unstoppable from the side of Empire when it does come through.
Yeah, I would imagine that after this, we're just going to see a high ground push. Team Spirit are going to do what they can to split up the map. Doom here, that is a very dead Invoker. And this is where you feel really bad playing against Doom.
Yeah, Imposture's been playing it very well this game. We've seen him hit so many, well, just getting the ult on point every time.
Yeah, his Doom
always
targets
resulted in a kill, pretty much.
His Doom targets have been perfect, actually. It's a really good point. The other part about playing against a Doom is that it doesn't matter if he's position 1 or position 5. At this stage in the game, he will always have enough farm to be able to cast his ult on you and chase you to death as Invoker. Like, there's not really a whole lot that you can do about it. Makes it really annoying to play against, because you kind of want a Linken's just for the Doom, but then you have to buy a Linken's for a Doom, and then you're like, all right, well, the rest of my item progression is just crap now because I have a Linken's.
Ramses?
He's fine.
He is fine for the time being, and yeah, he's not even going to go down once by this of it. Death Ward's dropped, the Dream Coil onto 2, and now Scandal moving in with the side of the funny. Afterlife with the Blink, Ravage onto 3. The cooldown's going to connect. Illidan kept alive here by Always Want to Fly on his way back to base, but Always Want to Fly. Gold Black's down as well. Illidan, will he survive? He's got the Phantom Region. It looks to be enough to negate the damage that was done during the ult. But they've lost the top set of racks. Cheese is eaten. And I think Empire pretty much full line celebrating it. GG is finally called. Team Spirit, they did try their best. Double drums picked up there from Afterlife. As, well, he's got to be happy. That was a real step up in play there for the Tide.
Yeah,
even considering the fact that he did have a bad start as well this game. He was hitting some huge ravages at the end of the game.
Yeah, he was low level for a really long time, but then between like the 8 to 12 minute mark, he got a ton of experience. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that, you know, rotations started happening from Team Spirit. They wanted to try to dictate the pace of the game, but in my opinion, this game was over 25 minutes ago. Like, as a team captain, sometimes you have to make the distinction of, do you want to try to win even though your lineup is kind of past its expiration date? Because I feel like you play this drawn out game and your teammates have to know. Like, you are in this position. You're just like, there's actually nothing we can do, but we're going to play, you know, 25 extra minutes. I hope that doesn't bother them too much. I hope they're okay with it. You know, they were just talking about what we can do better. You know, for game 2, maybe we want to take a different game plan, because I feel like this was not the strongest Spirit composition, in my opinion. No. I don't think this is what they do best. I think they want to be able to control more and fight more than they did. But props to Empire, man. They played a phenomenal game.
They really didn't. I wouldn't be surprised we continue to see more Scandal puck, because when it works out, it really does. And again, a great performance, 15-0-8 on Scandal's puck, and it really is quite showing as well. So it'll be nice to see a lot more of that from the side of Empire. And it will also be, of course, nice to see Team Spirit step it up in Game 2, because Game 1 really did not go their way, which we'll be back with very shortly. But first, we'll cut to a quick ad break and then back to the panel. We'll see you guys in a bit.